And we have a Fox News alert. We just got our hands on the Comey indictment, former FBI director, indicted in the Eastern District of Virginia. He's charged with 2 counts, false statements within the jurisdiction of the legislative branch, that's testimony before Congress, and obstruction of a congressional proceeding. The indictment states, and it's only 2 pages long, that Comey willfully and knowingly, that's the intent standard, made a materially false, fictitious, and fraudulent statement in a matter within the jurisdiction of the legislative branch of the government of the United States by falsely stating to a U.S. senator during a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing that he had not authorized someone else at the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports. That was regarding an FBI investigation. Congresswoman, this is big news. Many of us expected it. I think it's long overdue. But nevertheless, a lot of your colleagues tonight are saying, see, now Trump's weaponizing the Justice Department. You're doing what you accused others of. Your response?
Laura, we've had the opportunity for so long to hold these people accountable, and Congress could have held him accountable, and they chose not to. So I'm glad that the Department of Justice has the backbone to actually bring a 5-year charge, potentially if he's charged with the 18 U.S. Code 1621. I think that that's a statute for perjury. What he did was wrong, and I would argue that what he did is largely also responsible for breaking ties that we have with foreign governments. So this guy's a crook. He's a criminal. He belongs in prison. I will firmly back the administration, and it's time that Congress stop talking about it and actually do it. We're in the majority. We need to act like it and back up the president.
Well, Charlie, over the years, Comey has had some very high-powered attorneys. Former U.S. Attorney Patrick Fitzgerald was on his team. I remember he went after Martha Stewart, Conrad Black. I mean, I have no use for him whatsoever. But nevertheless, he's had some big names backing him. The entire liberal legal establishment will be making the case for why Jim Comey is the standard bearer of the law. Charlie, how do you see this tonight?
The last vestiges of the swamp are going to rally around Jim Comey and make this the biggest fight. You think that the swamp cares about voters or Democrats or anything? No, this is who they're going to rally around. And it is true that Donald Trump is the poster child of a weaponized judicial system, but he's the victim of weaponized judicial system. He is the poster child as a victim of this. And there is no person in all of government who is more singularly responsible for that weaponization against Donald Trump than that man right there, Jim Comey. All of the allegations about Donald Trump and Russiagate and all this kind of stuff, it was all political hackery until that man decided to take it and accept it as gospel and launch an investigation into a major party candidate at the height of a presidential election. And then he kept it going for years. And he should have known that it was all a hoax. And he kept doing it. And, we'll see. He's a very smart lawyer. Maybe he covered his tracks. Maybe he'll be able to get out of this. But I would like to see a jury of my peers decide whether or not he's guilty or not. I suspect I know how I would vote if I was on that jury, but they wouldn't let me on that jury.
Well, remember, they decided not to try for an indictment in the U.S. District Court in the District of Columbia, notoriously left-wing grand juries. They all indicted, they all went after Trump, and grand juries in the District of Columbia. So Eastern District of Virginia, the newly appointed U.S. attorney just took over, really a few days ago after her predecessor had apparently declined to go after Comey, and there was a lot of frustration about him. But they got a new woman in, and she looked at the case, and she knew it well, and she decided, look, there's plenty to go on here, and it's time for someone to be held accountable. Congresswoman, it really seems at this point that James Comey's imperiousness may have finally caught up with him.
I think that you're right, Laura, and what I will tell you is that the DOJ needs to act aggressively because the American people are tired of a two-standard system in justice. And frankly, what he did largely is responsible for why there is a big political divide in this country, because they operated on a lie. He violated the president's literally civil liberties, and I would even argue on top of that, he leaked classified information. This guy should never be held or able to hold another government job forever for the rest of his life. And I would say that the Department of Justice has everything that they need to bring forward the charges, and they should throw the entire book at him. So that's a 5-year prison sentence, and he deserves every single day of it.
All right, panel, thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.